All right, guys. Today we're going to do a little video lecture on an introduction to the Constitution called Ta-Da! Presenting the Constitution. Your assignment on page 3 should look like this. What I want you to do real quick, your teacher will pause the movie, and then I want you to highlight all the bold words here. We're going to kind of preview it. Just kind of glance at it. All right, now that your teacher has given you time to highlight it, we're going to work on the preamble right here, just this section. All right, I want you to use these words and see if you can fill in where they might belong here. Use a pencil and we'll review it when you're done. And as this young man says, you can do it. All right, now that you've had time to review this, to attempt this, let's review it here. Let's practice our good note-taking techniques throughout this whole thing. Before you take a note, look, listen. Your teacher will pause the video and tell you when to take your notes. So the preamble. The preamble explains the reasons why the Constitution was being written. Remember Shays' Rebellion? Too weak of a government. So they wanted to create a better union between the states than what they had under the Articles of Confederation. They still wanted to protect the country, though. They wanted to make sure that the states had a peaceful relationship. Remember all the conflict, all the quarreling? Remember the finger that can cause fighting, it caused debate? Remember all that fighting from Shays' Rebellion, excuse me, not Shays' Rebellion, Articles of Confederation. And then secure the future, secure the freedom for the future generations. All right, we're now going to talk about Article 1, the legislative branch. Remember, don't take notes just yet. Your teacher will pause the video when they're ready. So the legislative branch is the branch of government that's going to make the laws. All that power is going to belong to a Congress. And this Congress is going to be broken into two houses, sometimes called chambers. One of the houses is going to be called the Senate, and the other house is going to be called the House of Representatives. The Senate, every state is going to have equal representation, 2 members. Doesn't matter your population, every state is going to get 2 members. The other house, the House of Representatives, is going to be based on population. So the more population you have in your state, the more representatives you're going to have in the House of Representatives. Pause the movie, teachers, and students, take your notes. All right, we're ready to take on Article 2. Remember, let's just look and listen. Article 2 creates the executive branch, or the branch of the president. The president's job, the executive branch's job, we say is carries out. What that really means is to enforce the laws. The president is the head of the executive branch. We'll pause the video, let you update your note. All right, now that we've tackled Article 2, Article 3, next, the judicial branch. The job of the judicial branch is to interpret the laws. What do the laws really mean? What rights do they give to the citizens? What limits do they put on the rights of citizens? The highest court in the land is called the Supreme Court. Whatever they say goes. There is no appeal beyond the judicial branch. Students, go ahead and update your notes. All right, let's remember that we're taking good note-taking skills here. We're using good note-taking skills here. We're going slow. So the 3 branches we have are the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. Now this is just a brief introduction. We'll learn the details of these later on. Let's try a mini quiz here. The teacher will pause the video and see if you can answer these questions. All right, Article 4 is next. Let's listen. You'll update your notes. We'll talk about Article 4 and 5 together, then we'll pause the video and let you get your notes. Article 4 basically tells the states that a resident of another state should be treated the same as a citizen from their own states. So if you're married in California and you move to Arizona, Arizona will consider you married. If you have a driver's license in California, if you're visiting another state or you move to another state, you're allowed to drive in that state. Article 5 talks about changing the Constitution. Changing the Constitution isn't easy. Under the Articles of Confederation, it had to be unanimous. All 13 states had to agree. In the U.S. Constitution, it's 2/3 of Congress or 3/4 of the states. All right, students, go ahead and update your notes. All right, you can see we're on Articles 6 and 7. Let's talk a moment before we update our notes. Article 6 says that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. It makes it clear that whatever the Constitution says is weighted greater than anything that the states say. So a state cannot write a law that contradicts anything in the Constitution. Article 7 was the directions on how the Constitution became a law, that 9 of those original 13 states had to approve the Constitution for it to be ratified. All right, so you just updated your notes on Articles 6 and 7. Next are the amendments. The original version of the Constitution did not guarantee any rights to the citizens, similar to what the English Bill of Rights had done. Now we're going to look at the process of how the Bill of Rights got added. But after those 7 original articles were written, the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists agreed that they would have to include a Bill of Rights later. So the Bill of Rights was added after we started using the U.S. Constitution. Students, go ahead and update your notes. All right, we're done with our notes, our little introduction. Let's take a little bit of a mini quiz. Your teacher will pause the video with each question and let you discuss them as a class. Well done, guys. You made it to the end.